welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are introducing our new dies XOXO Backdrop in both portrait and landscape. So let's go ahead and check them out. These dies cut a standard size card backdrop, 5.5 by 4.25 inches, full with hearts and XOXOs that's perfect for Valentine's or any kind of I love you card. We're going to take some craft paper and put it behind the white so you can really see the details in these. They're so cute and so much fun, so let's go ahead and get creating with them. Whenever I have a backdrop die like this that has a lot of holes, I like to put a rainbow behind it because rainbows just make me happy. So we're going to take out a bunch of Distress Oxide inks, but you could use any inks. The Lawn Fawn inks would be awesome with their rainbow colors too. So we're going to take out a bunch of colors here and start ink blending onto the card. We're going to be using some ink blender brushes here and just slowly bringing the ink on. Now this doesn't have to look perfect because we're going to be layering that whole backdrop on top. So you'll see my transitions between the colors aren't perfect, but it still looks awesome. So we're going to keep switching between all the colors going in our Roy G bib here. So we've got our blue, our green, and then our yellow, and then we'll be able to move on to the orange in the middle, which is so pretty. I really like that orange color. And then we'll move into our pinks and purples. And you can see I keep taking the backdrop die and laying it over the ink blending. So I kind of see how those colors are looking and see if I need to add more color or maybe blend out a transition a little bit. But it's looking really, really awesome. So we're going to go ahead, add a little bit more purple towards the top there. And now you can see how gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh, it just makes that whole backdrop come to life. So we're going to add some liquid glue using the glue tube all around the edges, and then we're also going to be adding it in between the hearts. So it's just going to be horizontal lines going through each one. So it's nice and easy. You're not having to kind of go around the hearts, just one straight line. Then we can lay that on top of this ink blended background and get this awesome, cool rainbow gradient look. To decorate this background, we're going to be using the Heart Shaker gift tag dies, but we're not going to use them as a tag. We're just going to use them as a cute heart element onto the card. So we're going to be die cutting some different colors of cardstock here. So we have some sunflower, mermaid, and ballet slippers. And we're going to be die cutting this gorgeous pearlescent vellum with the base tag part. Now, because we're not going to make this a tag, we're going to just cut that tag part out. And it doesn't need to look perfect because we're going to be putting the frames on top, so it'll cover up any imperfect cutting that you might have. We can add some liquid glue to the back of our frames and then layer it onto that beautiful pearlescent vellum. And today we're recreating a version of a card by Grace that was so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And she had a landscape card, so we're turning it into a portrait. So it's kind of fun to be inspired by our friends and change it up a little bit. To make these hearts look like conversation hearts, we're going to be adding the XOXOs that come in that frame die. So we're going to die cut that out in the same colors as the frames, the Ballet Slippers, Sunflower, and Mermaid. I'm using a jewel picker to pick up the letters, adding some liquid glue on the back, and then just attaching it down onto that vellum. And it's such a pretty look to have the letters on there, but still have the translucency of that vellum. So we'll repeat this with the pink, yellow, and then of course the mermaid. I think it's really fun to send Valentines to your friends too. So we're going to be using the Scripty Friends die, and we're going to be die cutting some of this really rainbow paper. And that purple color is just gorgeous. So we're going to die cut the friends, and we're also going to die cut it from white cardstock twice. And we're going to be layering these on top of each other to create some height. So there I'm kind of trying to mess around with the placement of my heart, see what's going to look nice. Then we can add liquid glue to them and layer them onto the card base. Once they're in place, we can start to stack those die cuts. So we're going to add liquid glue to one of the white ones, stack another white one on top, and then stack our purple on top of that. We'll also do that for the dot for the eye. Then we can use our glue tube to the back of our stacked Friends die cut and layer that onto the card. And I really like the look of it layering over the hearts too. I just think it looks really pretty and kind of puts this whole cluster of images all cohesive and together. Next, we'll add the dot on our eye, and then I'm going to do something that you don't necessarily need to do, but I like to do because I'm one of those crazy crafters. So you could leave this background just like this, or you could save all those little O's when you die cut them and put the centers of the O's in there. So once again, crazy crafter, I decided to glue all of the centers of the O's in. I really like this look, but I also really like the look the other way too. So it's totally personal preference as to how you want it to look. Our last step is to take a standard size card base, 5.5 by 4.25. We're going to add some tape runner to that card base, and then we can layer the whole panel on top. And this card is all done. It's so super cute. It's so happy. I love the rainbow gradient in the background, and then how beautiful that pearlescent vellum looks in those little hearts. As you move the card around, it just has this beautiful sparkle and shine that makes me smile. So it's so gorgeous, and I love that rainbow. Oh my goodness. Next up, we're going to be creating an interactive card and then using the XOXO Backdrop as the background. And we're going to be making a Flippin' Awesome card because the new You're Just My Type stamp set works with almost all of our interactive dies, and it works really, really cool with the Flippin' Awesome. So we've stamped those little mouse papers from the Love Poem stamp set, and we're also stamping some words from the Love Poem stamp set. So we have roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And then we're taking out an oldie but a goodie, and it's Quinn's ABCs. And Quinn's ABCs, a lot of the letters fit really nicely in those little squares. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to use a heart from the Conversation Hearts add-on for How You Been. So you can look through your stash to see what might fit in those little tiny papers. Then we'll quickly add some color to those mice. And we'll also use some nice light browns to give those papers kind of an aged look. Now we're working with our Flippin' Awesome die. So we've cut the main panel from some mermaid cardstock, and we're going to cut that cool little scallop square that's kind of a decorative element to it from some spiffy speckles paper. We'll cut the main Flippin' Awesome piece from some white cardstock, and we're also going to die cut the very end of it out of some more spiffy speckles. That's going to decorate the little part that comes out at the end of the Flippin' Awesome. So the first thing we're going to do is attach that piece on there to decorate the back there with some beautiful pink paper. And then we're going to start folding along all of the score lines that the die has created for us. And if you've never created a Flippin' Awesome card before, make sure to check out the Intro to Flippin' Awesome video. We'll link it in the description below. Once we have those score lines folded, we're going to make sure to go in the opposite direction. And that's going to help our Flippin' Awesome move really well. So you're going to bend those score lines both one way and the other, and your flip action is going to be awesome. We're also going to make sure to fold those little tabs and just fold those right along the score lines. Now it's time to start decorating. So we're going to add those scallop squares to our main Flippin' Awesome panels. So I love how there's each one of the colors, and I love kind of the pastel look of the whole thing. Then we can add our cute little images that say the roses are red, violets are blue. We're going to add those on with liquid glue onto each of the squares. We're also going to decorate that panel that's going to come out at the end of the Flippin' Awesome, the one we added some pink pattern paper to. We're going to be adding the I Heart You, but we want to do kind of a cool inlaid die cutting technique. So we're going to attach on our first mouse, and then we're going to layer the other mouse right there, and you'll see where they're going to overlap. So we're going to do something kind of fun here. We're going to take the coordinating die, line it up with the one in the middle, and you'll see that the die is overlapping the one on the right just a bit. So we're going to hold that in place with some washi tape, run it through the die cut machine, and now we have that perfect cut so you can fit them in almost like a puzzle piece. So we'll repeat the same idea with the one on the left. So we're going to layer it over. Once again, line up that coordinating die with the one in the middle, hold it in place, and die cut the one on the left. When we bring it back, you'll see we've got that cut out of it, and that's going to line up just like a puzzle piece. So it's a really, really cool kind of inlaid look that I think looks really pretty. Now it's time to add on our panel. So the first panel there is going to be added on completely with adhesive, completely flat. Then the other three panels are going to be added on just on part of it. So you're going to put a little bit of tape, some nice strong tape, in between those score lines in the three areas that you can see there. Then we'll peel up the liner paper on one of those areas and attach our next panel. Move over to the next one, peel up the liner paper, attach our violets are blue. And then one more, we'll peel it up and attach our last, actually technically the very first panel. So you'll see there as you pull it, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the I Heart You at the end. It's so cute. So here we have some more spiffy speckles paper, and we're going to trim that down to be 5.5 by 4.25, which is the same size as our XOXO Backdrop landscape. We're going to cut that backdrop from some white cardstock. Then we can pop out any of those little hearts and O's, and we're going to start layering these pieces together. So we have a standard size card base, and we're going to layer our spiffy speckles onto that, and then we're going to layer our XOXO backdrop onto that purple paper. Next, we're going to attach our Flippin' Awesome mechanism. So we're going to add some nice strong tape to those tabs, just like that on either side. Then we can flip those tabs behind the Flippin' Awesome mechanism. So we're going to fold them back, hug around the whole thing, and then we can attach that right onto our card base, just like that. So once it's in perfect placement, we can just push down and make sure that it's nice and secure. Now to add some decorations, we have some Guava Cardstock here that we die cut with the XOXO Backdrop. We also die cut the little tab there that comes in the Flippin' Awesome set. It's got an arrow so the recipient knows what to do. And now we're going to take some of those hearts just randomly and add them in. And this is a really cool look to do with this backdrop. So I love that we've put pattern paper behind it, and that's how we've added our color. And then we're just going to take a couple of those little hearts, add some liquid glue in the center, and then drop those hearts in. And you can see that by adding those few little hearts, it just makes the whole thing pop. I think it looks so pretty. It's so fun, and I love that they're totally random. And now it's time to play with our mechanism. It's so adorable. I love it so much. It says roses are red, then violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you, with the I heart you at the end. So sweet, so cute, and adorable. Oh my goodness, I just love it. I can't wait to make a bunch just like this. We have some amazing cards by the design team. And first up, we have Megan. And here, I love how she's filled in some of those X's and O's with a contrasting color of cardstock. It looks incredible. And here, Tammy has filled in the X's and O's with lots of different colors and also filled in different hearts, which is a really cool look. I love how Yanea has done 2 different shades of pink to color in her XOXO backdrop. Is really fun. And here, I love the contrast of that mermaid color with the white behind it. Now, Elise got really clever, and she used it as a stencil and stenciled into her Just Stitching heart, which is so pretty. And then here, I love the kraft red and black that Lynette used. Just gorgeous. This card here by Audrey is really fun. She splattered paint onto it, and I love how she left all the hearts in instead of popping them out. It's a really neat look. This card by Elena is so pretty, and I love how she cut a circle into the backdrop to highlight her image. And then here's that card by Grace that inspired us to make ours today. So gorgeous. Letitia's tone-on-tone look with the white on white is just stunning. I never would have thought to do it, and it's beautiful. I can't wait to try it. And here, I love how Maureen filled in all of those hearts with different colors. Wow, with that glitter cardstock and the XOXOs, just beautiful. And then here, Melissa Mann's layout is so cool. I love how she layered them behind her photos. And here, Mindy created a really cool pull tab card, and she put some of our sparkle cardstock behind it, and that sparkle really shines through all of those hearts and XOXOs. So I cannot wait to see what you guys create with this XOXO backdrop, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!